Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. And I want to say thank you to the chat managers for your help. I really appreciate it. If you are new to the channel, my name is Milu. I was born clairvoyant, which means I don't use any tools to read. I am also a psychic and a medium. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Hi, Timberlily. There are a couple of things I want to mention today because a lot of people get all worked up when I talk about the virus, how it's spreading, those who are vaccinated and those who are not vaccinated. I'm hoping I can encourage people, those who listen to me and are not vaccinated, I'm doing my part. But one thing I don't understand, if you are not vaccinated and you have a medical condition, I don't feel it's fair to yell at me because I'm saying for people to get vaccinated. In fact, I'm helping you. You should be doing what I am doing, encourage people around you to get vaccinated if they are not, as opposed to yelling at me, because I am not shaming anyone. I'm simply encouraging people like I do. I don't press people. Some of my friends are not vaccinated. I just say once, I said, I think you should be vaccinated, and then I drop it. I don't push people, nor convince people why they should. We are all smart. We should know. Look around us, what's going on. And so if I mention it, I'm doing my part, trying to encourage people to do it. And also, sometimes I mention China, and it feels like there are some people who are unhappy about that. I am not comparing China, the communist system, with our democracy. And also, some people are saying our media is putting out false information about China. It is possible, but I don't do my readings based on whatever else they say. If they say, for example, last week they said, well, right now the Xi administration is basically putting a cap on how much you can earn if you come up with something or if you develop anything. I felt it was unfair, and I gave my intuitive impression of how that's going to help, and where I feel. I may be wrong, but where I felt China was going to go. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but some people feel offended. Yes, just like everyone else. To complain about colonialism and all kinds of stuff. I could complain about that too. But you know what? Life is short. I'm going to fight for what I want, and I hope everyone does the same. And we can fight together for what we want together. Okay? But I am not trying to put one form of government down over the other. That is not what I was trying to do. If you think that's what I'm doing, well, you're wrong. I'm not. I'm simply saying what I feel intuitively is going to happen to China, to Russia. It may not happen tomorrow. It may happen 10 and 20 years from now, but mark my word, it's coming. Because just like in Afghanistan, I predicted that when the news people started complaining, this is a mess and blah, blah, blah. Someone wrote an article yesterday that has proved me wrong. Proved me right, I'm sorry. That in the sense that, yes, we've spent 20 years there. It was not a waste of time. Yes, it was a waste. It was a lot of money. But you know something? The Taliban are facing a challenge right now, okay? And they're not going to be able to handle it. Afghanistan or Afghans are not, Afghanistan is not the country they left 20 years ago. So they are still behind. They are uneducated, unsophisticated. The new generation of Afghans are way ahead of them. So they have a problem. Not only that, they have other things that are going on in the country they don't have full control of yet. So, but the point I'm trying to make is, I made that prediction, and someone was talking about it yesterday. I will look for the article proving that I was right. We had a major impact on Afghanistan. It's not obvious yet, but it's becoming, people are beginning to see and understand all the efforts we put in there. Okay, the people have changed, and the whole country will change. That's what's coming. And it's not going to revert back to 20 years ago the way it was 20 years ago. So I wanted to make those points. The other thing is we have another book coming, and oh boy, Melania, I don't know how many of you, those of you who have been following me for a very long time, I said Melania Trump would have some legal issues. I didn't see her going to jail. Okay. According to, you know what, guys? I mean, I don't like Trump. I think he's the dumbest guy I've ever seen. Him and his entire family. According to Grisham, and Melania is denying this, that's another proof how dumb these people are. She has text messages to prove, according to the article, that she sent Melania a text about calling or do something about calling off the January 6th insurrection, and she did nothing. The reply was no. Okay, now, how can you say something like that and expect, I mean, she has the text, and what is she expecting? Intuitively, I feel that book is going to be a bombshell. Because this woman, yes, I don't like it either, okay, but I feel like saying the Trumps are going to have a lot of answering to do. I was so disgusted when I read that only little snippet that Melania said no, and I was not surprised because, as I have been saying, most of you for over since I've been doing this on YouTube and I've been talking about Trump, she's just like him, and the example I've often given you is she, along with Trump, was saying that Obama was an American citizen, was not born here. So I wasn't surprised. But you know something? I feel Melania is worse than that family. You know why? For money, I'm sorry I'm saying this. It's not something that I ever wanted to say, but this morning as I was reading the article, yes, I am somewhat biased, but I was so disgusted about her saying no. J-Lo, no, Timberlily says, Milu, Melania is evil too. Yes, she's worse than I didn't want to go this far. But after I read the article this morning, the snippet that they gave on, I forget the name of the website. I looked, Raw Story. It was so disgusting. But she's going to have a lot to answer to, intuitively, I feel like saying. And the other thing I feel like saying is Trump, there is going to be another layer of garbage that he's going to have to dig himself out of. And a lot of people, after this book comes out, I feel a lot more people will turn on them, for that family too. And a lot more people are going to find themselves in hot water, like Meadow, who's trying to do everything he can to say, no, it wasn't me, I didn't. Yeah. These people are going to look worse. I mean, not only Trump and his family. I've been saying this for over 2 years, but I had no way of proving what I've been saying to all of you. But that book, it feels like to me, is going to prove a lot of things that I've been saying for the past 2 years. And when I first started and I said Trump wanted to be a dictator, a lot of people had doubts about that. It has become very obvious since Trump left the presidency. If he didn't want to be president for life, he wouldn't do January 6th, to go out of his way to do all these things. And also, all those changes, I don't know if you guys recall, I know some of you are new and it takes a long time to go through all my videos and they are not labeled, unfortunately. And it's because of the way YouTube is very sensitive about certain things. So even I created a video, the video I did Saturday, okay, YouTube demonetized it, simply because I put fire department in the title and Trump was at the fire department. I sent it for a review, they remonetized it, but by that time, I lost 75% of the revenue, but it's okay. The point I'm trying to make is, if you go over, my predictions are on video. Unfortunately, it would take a long time to go through all of them because they are not labeled correctly. The thing is, I've been saying that was Trump's goals, and also he was putting people around him who would only be loyal to him. And I gave Haiti as an example because that's how Papa Doc governed. And a lot of dictators as well. It's not only Papa Doc, but that's what I know. I understand it. And if I compare it to Saddam Hussein and Putin and even Xi, somebody told me, someone wrote a comment that she's the head of the Communist Party, and if the Chinese are unhappy, they can, there's going to be something is going to be done. Not true. I'm sorry. That happens here in this country. It doesn't happen anyplace else. That she is not a dictator. Well, that's for another discussion. In any event, the point I'm trying to make is all those changes Trump was making, he was trying to consolidate power, okay, so that when he's ready, he simply had to flip the switch, just send an email out. That's what I mean by flipping the switch. And everything would fall into place. And unfortunately for him, Barr threw a can of worm in the whole situation, threw a monkey wrench, not a can of worm, but a monkey wrench into the whole thing, among other people who did not want to go along with it because they're a little smarter than he is. They knew this would not fly. Yes, the Republican Party would back him up. If Trump succeeded on January 6th, the Republican Party would back him up. What would have dislodged Trump from the White House? People taking to the streets. That would have dislodged, and it would happen. If Trump did manage to stay president after, if his coup succeeded, my intuition is people would have taken to the streets. Him and his family, they would have to do something. Yes, he has 76-something million people who voted for him. Even they too, a lot of them, because wouldn't go along with it. Because if Trump does this, the next president is going to do the same thing. I mean, some of them are thinking there's a core base who would continue to do the same shenanigans they are doing right now. You know something? After I read that article, I'm sorry, let me finish the other thought. But that was Trump's plans. Unfortunately for him, it failed. Right now, Trump is doing something that's very devious. He's trying to pretend that he's still president. That's why this past Saturday, he went to a fire department. He thinks it's enough to convince his people that he's the shadow or whatever it is level he thinks he's still president. He's trying to position himself for two reasons. First of all, he thinks he can influence the outcome of his trials that are coming up, okay, and also keep the Republican Party under his control, under his thumb. That's their problem. Let them deal with each other. They deserve each other intuitively, I feel like saying. But the other thing is, he's playing a very dangerous game. And I don't know when this is going to happen besides Trump being indicted. Or it maybe, I'm not quite sure how this is going to work. But it feels like to me, he's being taken very seriously about what he's doing. People, high-level people in the government and at the Justice Department are fully aware what Trump is doing, and the FBI as well among our intelligence people. What Trump is doing, what he's up to. He's no longer president, so they can face him, no problem. There is no repercussions. Okay? They're going to have to take Trump down and some of his supporters, the most outspoken ones. Otherwise, this guy, he's going to continue to cause problems until he goes to jail. And that's my prediction. Because if you watch him the past couple of days, the past couple of 2 weeks, he's really trying to rev up. Yes, his poll number, like I've predicted before, his influence among the on the base, according to polls, he's losing influence and he's losing, well, basically the base, according to the polls that came out over the weekend. But I feel like saying, doesn't matter, because that core, those loud people who are going around, Biden followers, who are going to Biden for everything, how to organize, how to, try to change the schools and stuff like that. The school board, that's how they're gonna start from the bottom up to change this country. Those people, the influencers, the people at the top, who are causing all these things are going to have to be dealt with. I don't know how that's going to happen, but intuitively I feel like saying people at high level, I don't know how this works, Justice Department, FBI, there is a consensus there that they're going to have to do something. How they're going to go about doing it is unsure. But one thing is for certain, they know they're going to have to do something with Trump. They're going to have to kill chop the head of the serpent first, and then the rest will take care of itself. I don't think that's going to happen. I feel after they do away with Trump, because of his past shenanigans, there are some people in the base they are going to have to take care of as well. And to Woodville, that's what I feel like saying. So this is not something that's going to go away overnight. And something else I said last week, I said the justices are fretting. They are having issues with the way they are being perceived because they still have a little bit of shame left. I don't know how many of you saw this morning that Barrett, what is her name? The lady, the last one Trump put on the Supreme Court. I'm not quite sure. It seems like there was some kind of something gathering with the justices somewhere, probably Yale or something. And she was complaining, or a number of them were complaining, or they are concerned that they are being viewed as partisans. Yes, they're right. They are viewed that way. I believe only one of them didn't care. I believe it's Alito, who said the court is not partisan enough. So, but regardless, they know that if they continue with this trend, first of all, everyone knows how they got to their position, the conservatives on the court, that is. Okay, allowing, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm repeating after lawyers on TV. The Texas law is unconstitutional, and if they allow this to go on, it's going to evolve into something else that potentially can throw this country in major chaos. Okay, so they are to cite a few things. So I feel like saying they are fully aware of those things and they are concerned. But that proved the point that the prediction I made last week. I said they were very uncomfortable, except I guess for Alito. But you know what? It's only one, and I'm not surprised it's him. But they are concerned. Even Kavanaugh, chimed in from what I understand. I wasn't there. I only read the article. But I feel like saying it's a good sign. They know we are keeping an eye on them, and if we lose respect for them, it's going to be a problem, not only for them, but for the country as well. So I feel they're going to take their job a bit more seriously because they were playing games, and intuitively I feel like saying with the abortion thing from Texas, the reason why I feel intuitively they have made those comments, wherever that meeting was, is because they know how the public views them about how they went about, it was in the middle of the night. They simply said they're not going to hear it. They don't like it very much, and that's a good thing. So let's keep our fingers crossed. I am right. They start taking their job more seriously. But you know something? I feel Kavanaugh. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, but you guys know who I am talking about. He's very concerned as well, and not only because of the way we view the court. It feels like to me, the other fear that he has, this guy has skeletons, as we all know. He knows if Democrats have a supermajority in Congress, he may have some problems. Democrats right now are playing, because they don't have a supermajority in the House, and the edge on the Senate is super thin. I believe it's only one vote. So there are certain things they cannot do. But I feel like saying if Republicans continue to do the thing that they are doing right now with the same attitude, allowing people to die, come out against masks and all these things, they're going to have a problem. A bigger problem than I feel. So intuitively, I feel like saying the court is concerned, like I predicted, and I hope for our health, everyone's concerned. The Republicans changed their attitude towards the virus as far as letting it, let it do whatever it wants to do, let it go where it wants to go, because basically that's what they are doing. They are listening to that guy, Steve Mangalay, that was working at the White House. I hope they mend the way they view things. I hope they change their mind. That's what I'm trying to say. Otherwise, 2022 is not going to be fun for them. Intuitively, that's my prediction. Someone asked me a question. JG saying Trump is trying to be the shadow president now that he thinks Biden is weakened. I hope. I don't think Biden is weakened at all. He talks to the parents of the fallen soldiers. Yes. Well, that's what I was trying to say before. He's playing that game, and it's very dangerous. And also, that's why I said the top people in our government are fully aware of what he's doing, and they know it's dangerous, they will do something about it. Because what he's doing is trying to create another situation like January 6th. Unfortunately for him, it's not going to happen. And did you guys hear about they had some kind of rally somewhere? The pillow guy was there, but only 300 people showed up. They were expecting 10,000. I cracked up. Somebody asked me a question about, hang on a second. Okay. You know, somebody asked me a question about small businesses, because there is, I don't know, the mandate, I'm not quite sure how to call this thing, but any employer with less than 100 people, you don't have to require your employees to basically wear a mask, I think. I'm not sure. Or to be vaccinated, I'm sorry, to be vaccinated. Let me say this. I don't know of too many people who will go to a beauty salon, to a beauty parlor, salon, to get their hair done or whatever they want done, that are just going to sit there and not wear a mask and not feel more comfortable if the person was vaccinated. My prediction is the attitude, societal attitude, is going to reach a point, and it's not going to be too far from now, where whether you like it or not, it's like the herd thing, you follow. It's going to be the thing to do, and if you don't do it, you're going to look like an outcast. We are reaching that tipping point right now. I feel intuitively. It may not be obvious yet. Okay, so I feel like saying it's going to be attitude that's going to change the mind of those business owners, and also they're going to realize it's good for business to prod your employees to get vaccinated, because it's not only good for business, your business, but also it's good for their families. And who wants this variant to be spreading around in your business? No one. Intuitively, that's what I feel. They're going to realize people are going to, wherever they're going to go, they're going to ask people, are you vaccinated? And if you say no, they're not going to frequent your place. Yes, they will find plenty of people, unvaccinated people, who are playing around with their health, but they're going to die as well. That's my prediction. And yes, that's what they're going to try to avoid. So they're going to fall in line. And I feel that's what Biden is trying to do as well. That was part of his consideration when he made the mandate. And also, from what I understand, I read this morning, there is a top epidemiologist who's angry or said he regretted voting for Biden, and he didn't like the mandate Biden put in place, something. Intuitively, I feel like saying to this guy, good riddance, because he doesn't have the responsibility that Biden has. He can throw his tantrum for whatever jealousy he has. Some people get jealous of others. It feels like, to me, that tantrum is about more than the mandate that Biden basically is trying to move the country forward into getting vaccinated, and trying to at least everyone getting back to a sense of normalcy. So, and a lot of people are going to do what he's doing, and I don't feel it's going to have an impact on Biden or other people. No, not the base. Let's put it that way. And also another question someone asked me about what do I feel about. I had a dream last night, but I'll share it later, about drinking water. Thank God there are ways we can have water. And I've been using a dehumidifier, but I never thought about drinking the water. I mean, you're going to have to filter it. There are a number of ways to generate fresh water. It feels like to me in areas, if we were to really have a shortage, thank God we have technology on our side these days, okay? There are a number of ways we can generate fresh water. So, yes, we may face challenge because of climate change, but there are a lot of ways. I mean, I'm surprised how much water I am getting out of this place, every day. So, from my dehumidifier. So, But I do feel, to answer the question correctly, I feel the government will be able to make sure that we have water, enough drinking water, and also water for irrigation and all that. So I'm not concerned. Okay, I don't remember who that was, but okay, let me answer a couple of questions. JG says, can't wait to see Donald bin Laden in jail along with Cocteau Jr. Oh, yeah. I mean, this book, I feel, is going to, it's going to be worse. Do you remember, guys, when it came out that Biden called our service members who went to war losers? Well, this one is going to, I mean, it's really going to have a major effect, I feel. I mean, I only read a little bit of it this morning. Melania saying no to sending out a notice telling these people to go back home. And the other thing I read in the article that Grisham says that Melania believes the election was stolen as well. I shouldn't be surprised because she believed it when Trump told her this. Well, she's a dummy anyway. I'm sorry. That's why she believes this. She knows that, you know what? In fact, that's what makes me feel she is worse than that family. She should know better. She grew up on Eastern Europe. Well, it seems like a lot of people who grew up in Eastern Europe, like I know a lot of Russians, they are Trump fanatics. So I'm not quite sure if they are evaluating Trump based on his money. I'm not saying all Russians now. Please don't comment that I said, but I know a lot of Russians who are Trumpists. He can't do anything wrong. Every once in a while, I'll talk to some of them. I used to work with some of them, and I said, "You're wrong." And even before he became president, a couple of good friends I have, they love Trump. I'm like, "You're making a mistake." I said, "You can vote for him if you want to. That's where you're heading, but you're gonna be disappointed." Yeah. Oh yeah. One told me the other day, "You were right." Grudgingly admitted it. So, but I don't understand how these people leaving Russia, you come here, and you want this country to go in the same direction as the place you were running away from, or you ran away from. It doesn't make sense. So those who are Trumpists, that is, because you've experienced it before, this guy should be a major red light flashing in front of you. So, all right. And let me see if there are more. I'll answer one or two more questions, and then I'll go. I'll be back later. Today's Monday. So, yes, Cheryl 522 says, "I never liked Trump, but was his behavior so pitiful years ago?" Absolutely. I don't remember exactly when the Central Park 5. I mean, Trump was, if I recall correctly, he took out an ad on the New York Times asking that they be executed or something like that for something these guys didn't do. So yeah, Trump was. I mean, don't buy. Yes, all those big sports celebrities, they were his friends. We see how Trump is today. It's all about Trump. They were popular. Those guys were like Mike Tyson, that football player who's running for the Senate in Georgia right now. He's going to lose. I don't remember his name, but he used to live in Jersey. All these people, no, Trump was just using them to raise his profile, and exactly the same grift he's doing today. Unfortunately, today he's going directly to the poor. In those days, he had the wealthy, among sports people, around him. He was using them. Yes, Trump was just as bad a long time ago. I remember. I grew up in New Rochelle, New York. I used to live in New Jersey after that. So yeah, Trump never had a great reputation in New York City. Always a thief and a con. You know, Mike Bloomberg has lived in New York City all his life. He doesn't have the same. The reason why I'm saying this is to blunt anyone who's going to try to say, well, you know, it's because you don't like him. Bloomberg grew up in New York City. He's a real billionaire or billionaires. He doesn't have the reputation Trump has, and among a whole lot of them in New York City. So, you know, Trump was bad. Okay, friends. Yes, Burika says, meanwhile, it was Trump who called our troops losers and suckers. Yes. Thank you. Okay, friends, thank you very much for spending time with me. I appreciate it, and for your support. I will be back later this evening. If anyone would like a reading from me, the link to my website is below the video, psychicmilo.com, or you can send me an email at psychicmilo@aol.com. We can negotiate a time that's good for you. And also, please, if you like the channel, please subscribe, and also tap on the bell in order for you to be notified when I'm online or when I post a video. Again, everyone, thank you very much. I will see you later. This evening. You know the time. Till then, bye.